mean, it may sound funny, but it's really sad, and that is that most of the people, that a very large amount of the volume in home shopping is from socially dysfunctional people. The fact is that home shopping has an incredible heavy user orientation, and the heavy users, these heavy users are not just buying these. I mean, in the first place, it's to a certain extent it's uncontrollable. They get themselves into big financial problems. They overextend themselves doing this, and it's not, and it is not. I mean, they do it. They feel they have relationships with Joan Rivers. That they're like her. I mean, there's a lot of strange stuff going on there in the home shopping market. If you look at what people watch on television, there are two forms of satisfaction that you get from watching television. The first one is you get the actual enjoyment of watching it, and it's either an emotional experience or you get information from it. The second thing is, of course, is when you use that experience. If you watch a particular compelling thing, the next day you go into work or you go to, and you're now socializing with other people, and you talk about this program, and you share the experience with others. And that adds significantly to the value of the experience. The experience would not have as much value if you did not do that. Then you also tell other people about the experience, and you say, you know, this show was fantastic, you've got to watch this show. They watch the show, and they come back and they say, you were right, that was great. You feel good because you've now put them on to something that's positive. That whole shared experience flies in the face of the idea that we all want individually tailored, custom, creative product in our home that is not shared by others. We cannot lose that without losing a very important aspect of the medium. So the total fractionalization of the viewing experience will reduce that level. Now, one of the things that Robert mentioned, about the marriage, there is a very significant, in some research we've done, a very significant use of television is what we call, what people actually, and they actually admit this, by the way, pretense of communication. One woman sort of described it this way: my husband and I have been married for 20 years. We ceased to have anything in common other than television 10 years ago. And therefore, I love my books, and I read my books, and he loves his things. The only thing that we can talk about is television and television programming. So there's a healthy aspect of this, and there's an unhealthy aspect of it. But there is that dynamic, I think, is very important. So whether it's the master of your own domain episode of Seinfeld, or the first David Letterman show, or Maya Angelou's poetry at the inauguration, that's what television is all about. And that is not, those are still going to be the things that you're going to be watching. You may be watching them in a more convenient way when you want to watch them, and that's great, but essentially you're going to be watching the same thing.